Welcome back to Grace Through Storms, a podcast where we give people an opportunity to share their testimony and their stories about how they overcome through the grace of God. I'm your host, Jessica Webb. I am a licensed clinical mental health therapist. And today we have a wonderful guest, my friend, Tobi Ade Dokun, who is a lawyer and MBA agent. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for finally accepting my invitation.
Yeah, I mean, life comes at you fast, but I'm glad that I was able to come in, do this opportunity with you.
Thank you. So I invited you because you have a really amazing story, and I wanted you to share, especially being a young African American lawyer, and how you became that, and maybe even some of the struggles that you've overcome, and how God has allowed you to overcome those struggles through your story or your journey.
Yeah, I mean, God has definitely been with me in my journey. It was the beginning was a little bumpy, and even getting into being an attorney.
Okay.
But like you said, like just having God's grace through it all was, great and amazing. Um, I first decided to be an attorney just because, to be honest, I thought that I was gonna be like super rich, and I wasn't. It wasn't what I thought as far as not even like earnings, just more so like what I have to do. So, I went to law school. That journey was a little bit tough in that I went straight from undergrad.
Okay.
So I was still like, young and wanted to have fun and, not really understanding that I'm going into a professional program that I have to make sure I do everything the right way.
So would you say you've always wanted to be a lawyer from like childhood, or is it just when you were in college or undergrad, you was like, I have to do something different?
No, so I wanted to, like I was saying, I did it because of what I thought my salary would be as far as like millions,
Oh, wow.
So
Too many TV shows.
Yes, I was young and I just thought that that's what it was. So initially, when I went to college, I used to want to be an investment banker. I was the type to like Google top earning salaries
Okay.
jobs. So I just went investment banker, actuary science, stuff like that, and I saw a lawyer. So I was like, okay, let me switch over to lawyer. There was no particular reason.
You don't feel like God kind of like called you to be a lawyer or kind of guided you in that pathway, or just like, not just the money?
It wasn't God per se.
Okay.
It was because of how my journey went. I could see back and say like definitely God was the reason. At that time when I was young,
Okay.
it was definitely just the
It
money
was-
pushing me. It was the money pushing me. But
Okay.
I saw through life's journey that definitely God was the reason from jump. This was what it was supposed to be. This was always my calling.
Okay, so I actually, when I first started college, I wanted to be a lawyer as well. I wanted to be sports and entertainment. And I talked about this in another podcast because it was like, I was seeing it, like you said, as a way, I saw it as a way to meet rich men.
Yeah, okay.
You were thinking about making money. I was thinking about marriage. But I know that being a lawyer, they told me when I was trying to take that trek that you had to be a history major, English major, or political science. So I graduated with an English degree. But what was your undergrad degree in?
So my undergrad degree was in political science.
Okay.
And it's funny because a lot of what I do or a lot of law school had nothing to do with political science.
Really?
Yeah, I'm taking like comparative international studies, like stuff like that. I mean, a lawyer should know these things, but what I was going through in law school has like none of my classes in undergrad.
Really?
None. Like
Well,
I should have taken criminal justice.
Well, I had a history teacher at Lincoln University. He told me, he's like, you need to be able to read, and you need to be able to read a lot of information, take it in, remember. And I was like, I don't like to read.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of reading. That's something I
Okay.
always tell, like, even like, kids that, try to reach out to me and, that want mentoring from me. Hey, what do you think about law school? How was your law school journey? It's a lot of reading every day. And
Okay.
I'm talking like 5 to 6 to 8 cases a day.
Wow.
Because it's like 3 or 4 classes, 3 classes a day. So each professor may give you 2 to 3 cases to read the night before. So you're preparing for each class, and if you get cold called, cold call is. If you get cold called, it's just like, know this case. So you have to read it thoroughly, understand it. Not to your best, but that's what the class discussion's about. But definitely a lot of reading. I can't even tell you the amount of cases I've read.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you feel like being going to school to become a lawyer that it is important for you to have like particular study skills or anything?
So that's something like I was saying, I learned in law school too,
Okay.
where like going straight from undergrad, it was more of I had the let me go have fun when I have free time mindset.
Okay.
But again, I think that's God showing me the other way. And I'm saying this because when I first started law school, I had that mindset, almost was uh let me say kicked out of the school because of grades.
Really?
So yeah, so they're very strict on it, super strict. I wasn't getting like D's and F's, but that shows you like you're not even. I wasn't getting D's and F's, and I still almost got kicked out.
Well, graduate school, you have to maintain like a 3.0
Yeah,
average.
yeah, you had to, but that's the. I
You
don't know
was
what I
you
was
was
thinking about.
skimming. You was trying
Yeah,
to skim through.
21 years old. I was just like, I'm missing law school. I'm not thinking. I'm thinking it's just like undergrad. I'm thinking it's
Okay.
not.
Easy.
It's not easy. I knew I was in a law school, but it's just school. It
Okay.
wasn't. This is my career, my life. I need to really understand all this stuff. I can't even tell you what I studied in undergrad, but I could tell you what I studied when I was in law school because
Okay.
I remember after that situation going back and reading all them cases and getting cold calls. What I'm telling you is based on real experience. So I got cold called, didn't
Okay.
know the case, and then you get embarrassed because you don't know it as much as everybody else or someone else may have it. So then I'm just like, okay, let me make sure I know what I'm here for. I'm here for my career. I'm here for my profession. I'm here to make sure that everything goes the way I planned for it to go for me.
So you are potentially getting kicked out of school was like a catalyst for you to say, listen, I need to either shape up or ship out.
Yeah, I had no plan B. That's the
Oh,
thing. Everything was just, and that's what made me go directly from undergrad. I had no, let me go to school first, or let me work for a little bit, let me do this. I didn't have no other idea of what I wanted to do, especially because did the political science as my major, specifically for the purposes of being a lawyer. I didn't have, so it was like, all right, if I get kicked out of this program, what's next? Now I got to still go to law school somehow, some way. So why not just finish it out now? And
okay.
that was, I think, that was God, showing me like, hey, shape up. You here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. Shape up and do what you got to do. And that was the first awakening that God gave me
Okay.
in my
So
journey.
so what was the second one on your journey to becoming the lawyer that you are?
The second one was when I finished law school.
Okay.
I was studying for the bar, as you know, and I took the bar. Thank God. It was the studying process was what you hear about it. Very tiring. Very took a lot of time, effort. But I failed by 1 point,
Mm.
and literally 1 point. People say that and it's probably like 3, 4. No, it was 1 point, and I was like, oh my God. I was devastated for days. Called my mentors. I was like, what is this? What, like, 1 point? Are you serious? And this is another thing with God. Like I thought about this actually like 2, 3 months ago. I was like, why didn't I like what's the word when you're trying to like ask them to check your grades again? I don't it's
To
not
like
coming to yeah, but
review
that
your
to
score?
re-review it or something
Mm,
like that, or to
okay.
appeal it. I didn't
Yes.
even try none of that. So
Okay.
but I don't know why. Like I'm thinking about this 3 months ago. This is 5 years, 6 years after being an attorney. But at the time, my whole thing was, why didn't I pass the first time? I was sad. I was definitely devastated. And my mentors pushed me, my family pushed me. That again, this is your calling. This is what you're supposed to do. 1 point showed that you know it, so go do it.
Exactly.
So I was down for a few weeks, but you don't have too much time to be down because
Mm-mm.
the next test is not too far away. So by the time you get your results, so it was time to lock in again and study.
Okay.
I did a fast with my mom, like a 7-day fast with my mom,
Okay.
fast and pray.
Was it a fast like a Daniel fast, or was
No,
it like a complete like fast from food, fast from cell phone
no. It
technology?
was like a Daniel fast.
Is it Daniel fast?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it wasn't, but it was good because it actually made me and her bond too. My dad and my brother. So I'm the youngest of four. Just quick, my two sisters, my brother and me. One sister lives in Maryland, one sister lives in Nigeria,
Okay.
and my brother was home at the time, but he was an essential worker. He's a nurse, so he
Okay.
was out. So this is COVID time, just to make it all make sense. It's COVID time. He's out. My dad works for police. He was essential. He was out. So it was me and my mom. So it was a time for us to bond as well as like do the fast together.
Okay.
And that was cool. You know, we taking little walks, you know, had our mask on, you know, talking, praying, go home, study, talk, pray, go home, study. It was like a routine. I remember we gave things in church, and it was just like we did a testimony in church, and she was just like, I felt like I took the test,
Uh,
you know, because she was with me throughout the whole journey. So that was cool. But yeah, that was my second test where it was just, hey, lock in, do what you got to do, trust in me, have faith in me, and I'll
okay.
do it the way it's supposed to be. You know, and I was glad. One funny thing my mom told me, which I always hold on to, was like, you know, you failed by 1 point, but um, my dad and my mom told me two different stories. Doesn't necessarily have to do with God, but it made me think about perspective.
Okay.
My dad's first one was, you know, you failed by 1 point, but it's not that bad. Only like the family knows. He said JFK son failed
Yeah,
the
he
bar,
fought multiple
and they
times.
put it on the front of the newspaper every day. He said, "That's
Yeah.
not you. So go ahead, go do
Yes.
your thing." You know. So that was very motivating. You know,
Yeah. Men
feel
think
bad.
differently than women,
I
though.
feel
That was
bad.
a good perspective to
That was a
have.
great. I would never forget that. I would never forget that because I googled it after that. I knew about it, but I googled it. Like, was it really on the front? And it was. Front
Yeah.
page fails again, fails again. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, your friends know, your family knows, but not the world. And then my mom, she said to me, she said, you know, I know how you are, and if you passed that first time, you would have been like on your high horse. So this was like God's way of humbling you, like you
Okay.
know, for people that come after you too, you know, telling them, you know, showing them to have faith, trust in Him, and things will go the way. But if you pass the first time and you was how you are, who knows if you'd be this, you know, God fearing, you know, trustworthy trusting in God type of man, you know, and
Absolutely.
I
So
appreciate that.
one of the things that I do love, the Bible says that faith without works is dead.
Mhm.
A lot of times in the church, in the body of Christ, people feel like if I pray long enough, if I fast long enough, then God will answer my prayer and I'll get what I want. But the one thing that I heard you say over and over is we walked, we prayed, we fasted, but I studied.
Mhm.
And I think that's key for a lot of people watching, listening, or deciding to do something that's extremely challenging. You can pray, you can fast, and God is going to answer your prayer, but you also have to put in the work. It's not going to get done if you don't put hand to plow and, you know what I'm saying, do the hard work. Like, God could say, "Oh, Toby, you're gonna be the best lawyer, the richest lawyer ever. You're gonna have money like King Solomon."
Mhm.
Like that was
For
your
sure. For
dream,
sure.
and then you say, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna go to law school though."
If it's gonna be this way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna do it. And your mom is right. Like if you would have passed it the first time, you had the capacity, you had the study skills, but now you had to lean on God to get
That
through that
extra
one
hump.
point. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. That's something my mother always says too, like in the exact way, which is you prayer without work is nothing. So she always said, put in the work too, so
Yes.
that he knows that you want this. You know, he'll give it to you, but he needs to know that you want it as bad as you praying
Mm,
for. You know, so that was faith is like a huge thing in everything I do. I even have like a tattoo that says "Walk by faith, not by sight." This Bible verse, but
yeah.
it's very important to me. You know.
Okay. Now, after you got your test scores and you passed, what kind of lawyer did you become?
So I initially worked. It's another test from God. I initially worked for this woman. She was a solo practitioner.
Okay.
And she did asset protection and legacy planning. So that's trademark, copyright, trust, and wills.
Yes.
And it was me and her and maybe like three paralegals. And you know, she gave me a chance. She gave me a shot straight out of law school. You know, didn't even pass the bar yet. Didn't take the bar yet. You know, during that whole process, I was working with her. Um, before I like kind of uh, got out of there and like studied like fully. But she was definitely gave me a shot early, and I learned a lot from her. And
Okay.
the reason why I say it was a test is because I was with her, I became an attorney, did everything, and then like the day before Christmas, she had let me go, and you know,
Wait. So
yeah,
you're working there, you're doing a great job, and then she just lets you go?
yeah. I mean, it's a little deeper than that. Not necessarily anything I did or anything she did, but it just wasn't clicking the way it was supposed to. Definitely like no animosity. There was nothing
Okay.
bad, but it was I don't know what was happening on that side of it, but all in all, she let me off the day before Christmas. I remember
But you
calling.
know what? God has a way of moving us to the next level. We see like losing a job or door closing as like a punishment.
Yeah.
But sometimes you wouldn't have left and moved on if she'd have kept you.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's just the way things happen, and the journey is always funny because it, she let me go before Christmas. I'm thinking Christmas gifts. What am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna? And I call my mother again. My mother is pivotal in my whole life story, like most people. But she was crying. I'm like, oh my god, why are you crying? She's gonna make me upset. So she's crying, and I'm just like, all right. But the reason I say that it was like a test again is because I got it working with her. Like you said, I probably would have never left. I wanted to grow with her. She was a solo practitioner. I had opportunity to become partner probably and like, be at a high level and grow quickly. But that's not what God had for me. It was more like here, take what you can. This is what I take from it. Take what you can from her and go do your own thing.
Mm.
So I did my own thing on the side after that. Had my little side jobs. Still looking for like a 9 to 5 type of job. And then I found one where I do foreclosure. So I do foreclosure, real estate, and the legacy planning and asset protection I do on the side. So to me, that was an opportunity from God. Like, here, do what you need to do on the side. And
Okay.
then based on what you just had, and then now you're still gonna get money the way, as an attorney. So you can still do what you need to do, have your firm and still have this side
Okay.
where working and getting a salary.
So I don't know why as you were talking to me, I was thinking about um, the story of not Job. Oh my goodness.
I hope Joe's story
No, the
is
one
funny.
with the not Job, not Job, not Job, not Job, not Job. Oh my goodness, it's in the top. It's in the Naomi, Ruth and Naomi.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the story, but they came back and they didn't have any houses or everybody had died and they were like they didn't have a husband or whatever. So they met Boaz. Boaz was like the redeemer of the family, and they were in his field and they was gleaning. And so Boaz was like, don't let them go no place else. Let them stay here. Let them get what they need. And he ended up marrying the young lady and redeeming the family. And as you were talking to me, all I kept hearing was like God was saying, like you were gleaning from her. You were getting what you needed so that you could move on and do greater things. Because I know you and I had talked a little bit because we met on an airplane to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about the legacy plan. And then I'm like, wow, like I had just was saying to a family member that I wanted to do that for my home and my children. And you're like, yeah, I do that. And I'm like, okay, well, it's good to meet people and connect with them and get an understanding of what needs to be done. But that's perfect that you were able to glean that, use it as a part-time job. And now moving forward, you are doing something now. And the reason why I met you going to Vegas was that you are an MBA agent.
Yes.
And so how did you come into doing that from being a lawyer?
So in law school, I said, what am I gonna do with this law degree?
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be rich, as I keep saying, but like, what am I actually gonna do? I actually wanted to first be the MBA commissioner. So that's the person that kind of runs the whole.
Well, I know that.
Oh,
I
okay.
know what. I mean, I know a couple of things about basketball. Don't you like kick the ball in the fit? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people don't know like these
Okay.
titles within the NBA. So
Okay.
I just wanted to see. But yeah, I wanted to be an NBA commissioner.
You might still be
Did
one
the
day.
research on that. I think so too. So I did the research on that. And it wasn't as like, apply for this as I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you knew that already. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
But no, so I was like, how do I get in with what I do? And I was like, let me be an agent. It was just as simple as that. I was like, let me just be an agent and get my foot in the door.
Okay.
And I took the exam, another test.
Wait, it's a test to be an agent?
Yes,
I didn't know that. Now that I did not know.
certification exam. Yeah, you
Oh,
have to have
really?
a bachelor's. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a bachelor's.
So like Jerry Maguire, you kind of being like Jerry Maguire.
Exactly like that.
Okay.
Exactly like that.
Okay.
So I took the exam, another test, failed the first time.
Oh.
by like 2 points this time. I was like, is
Okay.
this my storyline? Serious. I asked my mother, is this my storyline? She's like, this is your storyline if you want it to be a storyline. I don't know if that was like good or bad. The way I looked at it was bad, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it could have been good. Like, change your trajectory or change your storyline if you don't
Yes.
like it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So she was like, this is your storyline if you want it to be. I'm like, why do I have to like, everything is twice for me, you know? And she was just like, but I passed the second
Well,
time.
it wasn't 3 times.
No,
Okay,
no,
so I mean,
yeah,
2 is
that's
better than 3.
yeah, but I don't want to take it 2 times. You know, that's my mindset
Okay.
going into anything. You know, you want to do everything the first time, but
Are
if
you
you
a
want to do it the
are
first
you a
time, you do it.
perfectionist?
No,
Ah.
I just don't like going through the woes 2 times.
Okay, and maybe that's why you go through it.
Yeah, until I'm ready for
Yeah.
that. Could be it. That could be it.
Yeah, God sometimes challenges us with things that we don't particularly like so we
Mhm.
can grow from it. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry to
no, it's
interrupt
fine.
it.
It's fine. Yeah. So I just kind of took the exam, passed the second time,
Okay.
and from there I didn't work for any agency. That's another thing that's not really like a you go down to the careers page
Okay.
on the internet and try to find a job. You gotta kind of
Network.
network and put yourself through the door, like you know. And me just being this young attorney that doesn't know anyone in the NBA industry. How do you do this? So I was like, okay, let me go to the events. Let me go to AAU tournaments. Let me go to NBA games. Let me go to summer league. And in summer league, I had a where I met you. I told you what I do, of course, on the plane and everything like that. But I don't know if I told you what my plan was going.
Well, we talked and you said that it was kind of like just to be in an area. You had somebody you were interested in, but you wanted to like, like spend some time with him, be around him, get to know his family and
So that was it. I had my intentions was to go meet Mike Miller, who is a former NBA player, former NBA champion with LeBron James, and he has his own agency called Live Sports Management.
okay.
So my goal was to go to him because at these, you go to an NBA game. I'm just like you. I'm sitting in the crowd. You can't really go down there without security
Yes.
trucking you out the way. So it's different when you're at summer league. You have your credentials. You're able to go do things. So that was my goal: go to summer league, use my credentials, and when I see him, God guide me.
Okay.
And yeah, I went looking for him everywhere. I know he's gonna be here. I'm looking for him everywhere. This is a 3-day weekend: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I go, I can't find him anywhere. I go to every game, if you know summer league, there's games every hour. So I'm going to every game. I'm going walking around the halls. I'm looking everywhere for him in this arena. Can't find him. I'm like, oh God. So Friday passes, Saturday passes, Sunday comes. And Sunday evening, Live Sports Management is the name of his agency.
Okay.
Sunday evening, I'm sitting down. I'm like, I remember sitting in the agent area. Well, away from the agent area. All the other days I was in the agent area. God, seriously, this is God with everything that happens in my life. It's so funny. And let me tell you. So I'm sitting down waiting when I'm sitting at this particular game, I'm just kind of like sad. So I'm looking down like this. I look upset, look sad to be there. And then a dude walks past me. It's
Mm.
not him. A guy walks past me and sits next to me. I'm still down. I'm watching the game. I'm like, I want to get out of here. I've been here all weekend, paid all this money to come here. I don't work for an agency. So this is coming out my real salary saved.
Yeah.
But it's all like a hustle, it's still investment. But I was upset because I didn't get what I wanted. I'm just, again, God, oh my God, God, why? And then dude sits next to me. And the NBA personnel comes and sits next to that same dude. And I'm like, okay, this guy must be something. So he walks away. The NBA guy goes away. And then I'm just looking. I turn over and the dude's credentials said Live Sports Management. I said, I've been looking for you all weekend. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. You got to imagine you're sitting next to somebody and that's the first thing they say. They don't say, hi, nice to meet you. They just, I've been looking for you. So he's looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? So I'm like, no, I've been trying to find your agency because I have a player that I think would be perfect for your agency.
Mm.
So, he's like, oh, I was like, where's Mike? Where's Mike? He's like, oh, Mike's everywhere. You probably not going to find him. I think he left. And then I was like, well, this is what I want to do. let's do something with this. And I'm grateful. The guy gave me a shot. He took my number down.
Wow.
The following week, I was with Mike Miller in Panama.
Look at
It
God.
was
Wait, wait, wait.
crazy.
High five. High
Yeah,
five. Yes, God.
yeah, yeah. That was
Wow, that's
crazy. Okay,
amazing.
the last day, I'm down. I'm sad. I'm like, what am I doing here? It's random, and I wasn't in the like. This is the part that I was trying to tell you. I wasn't in the agent part.
Yes.
I sat away in this huge arena where anyone could sit anywhere. It just happens to be that Mike Miller's one of the agents from his company sits right next to me. I was like, this is God. This is exactly what I've been. It was so funny. I told my mentors, I was like, what is the thing I told you I wanted when I go? He was like, you wanted to meet Mike Miller. I was like, no, no, no. Say it again. What did I tell you? He's like, you wanted to meet Mike Miller. I said, I'm on my way to go fly to meet Mike Miller. Like that's God. I'm telling you that's God.
Wow.
And I was like, the way God has been in my life is really a testimony. Like I love telling people these stories so that if you never believed before, believe now, because you can think something and then it really happens. What you want happens if you trust and have faith and do the work, like you said. If I had just been like, yeah, I want to meet Mike Miller, let me not go to summer league, let me leave, let me do this. Things in my mind was telling me stay. You never know. Let me go to my hotel room and just sleep until I go home.
But your story with Mike Miller reminds me of your 2 tests that you were talking about.
Yeah.
The first time, if you would have taken the test and passed, you probably would have felt like, I got it. I did this and moved on. But you had to come back and you had to study and you had to stay and, just to focus. And maybe that was training for that particular moment, because had you seen him or felt like, you know what, I didn't see him the first day, let me just go home, go back to my hotel. I know you had text me and was like, my brother here, we outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, what y'all doing?
Yeah, for sure.
But, that patience that God built up with those 2 tests that you failed and then you had to go back is probably why you still had the patience or the tenacity to stay a little bit longer so that you could get introduced to him. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, it's a great story. I'm happy that, things went the way it did. Who would have thought? Like, he's in my phone now, Mike Miller. This is like a month later, and it's just, I was just like, this gotta be God. The week later, the next week, I was on my way to Panama City, Florida. 'Cause when they
Okay.
told me they flew me out to Panama City, and when they told me I'm like, Panama? I don't know much. Okay, no, Florida. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm meet him, nice to meet you. I've been looking for you. Same sentences.
Wow.
And it was cool. It was just a good experience for real.
I'm sure. I mean, God has great things for you. I know talking to you on the airplane, we kind of like immediately
Clicked,
connected,
for sure,
right?
for sure.
Trying to get you a little hookup.
For sure, you did.
And I'm like, I have a podcast, and you're like, come on, I'll come. Not even knowing that you was going to have this amazing, well, your life story, becoming a lawyer, becoming an NBA agent, even this. I'm not going to say small, but this part of your story is amazing. Your testimony is amazing. I know when we were on the airplane, we were talking about being an African-American lawyer, male, and being young. You have endured a lot of prejudice, racism in the court. And I'm like, I thought that was going to be your story, like talking about how you've overcome the negative stereotypes, but you have so much more. Like,
No, that's definitely part of it too. I don't know if you want me to get into that
absolutely.
too. All right, so that's definitely part of it.
Okay.
I'm grateful to God for that part of my journey, but I kind of skipped in telling you like, hey, law
It's been some
school,
tough stuff.
There's been some stuff in between
Yeah.
that like has shown me too. And I'm talking about, like you said, being a young African American attorney, male, going into the, courtrooms and for real, court officers and people thinking that I'm like a defendant sometimes,
Okay.
that's tough. I'm not a defendant, I'm an attorney. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry, counselor, and they give me my respect. But it's just definitely like a rude awakening. And then even in sometimes where I remember walking into some criminal courts just to learn, I don't do criminal law, but just to learn. And you're seeing a defendant who is my age range on the other side, and I'm there like trying to learn from the person who's potentially prosecuting him. So just perspective like that. But like going to court and feeling that from court officers where they think you're the defendant and you're not, or like walking in and the other attorneys looking at you, not really giving you your just due, even though we all have the same degree. You may get it from whatever school you get it from, but you ended up in the same courtroom as me this morning. So I don't understand that part of it, you know? If you was so much better, then you probably wouldn't be in this courtroom with me, but you are doing the same
Exactly.
cases as me. So what are we doing all of this for? So that's with the attorneys of my age. And this, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen probably any, and it may be what I do, but I haven't seen more than five, definitely less. I'm just giving that a number. Young male attorneys in the courtroom at the same time as me. It's really just me and like everyone else. Let's just say,
That are Black.
uh, young black males. Black male is less, and then everybody else. So it's a lot of Caucasian males, Caucasian females, old Caucasian males for sure, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But what I did notice is that a lot of judges are African American.
Okay.
A lot of them are African. So they started, they opened the door, the gates for us, and in that, so that's another learning lesson that I had in my process, or in my time, where I felt like a lot of the black judges, older male and female, when they saw me, they would see themselves. So like the older judges would see himself in me, and
Okay.
then the older women would see me as a son. Like, okay,
Okay.
this is my son. And the reason I'm saying that is because like I would see them be a little hard on me, but still smile. Like,
Okay.
hey, you got to know this case in and out. Court attorney, we're on the record, off the record. Um, giving me chances. Hey, I want you to come back tomorrow. I don't want nobody else from your firm. I want you. I want them to send you.
Okay.
And it's just like building me up
To make you
to
better.
make me better.
Not giving you
Not giving me
a
yeah,
slide, but to
yeah,
build you up.
for sure. So yeah, it was at first I used to look at it like, hey, like what are you doing?
Like
But
bias.
yeah, at first I did, and then I realized like what the bigger picture was. Like they want me to be tough and strong, because
Excellent.
it's not gonna be easy to do what you're
Yes.
doing, and they're proud of me. I look at it as them being proud of me. Like, you're here, so be the best version of you. And I really appreciate those judges that I dealt with.
So
I don't want to give
being
them no shout outs, but
being that there are so few like African American or Black or people of color lawyers, young, old, women, male, is there like a group, like a support group or something that you are part of or that you know of, maybe, that if someone or a young person wanted to become a lawyer or they were like on that track, to kind of help guide them? Or
so there are different like groups you can join. Black Law Students Association.
okay.
Um, New York Black Attorneys Association. Different associations,
Okay.
and I just don't join those. I should.
Hi.
I should join them. Go to the little outings and things they have and brunches, but I don't, just because. As you can see, I have a lot going on, and
Okay.
that may help me, but I do have a lot going on, and it's just hard to. That networking part of it isn't like what I am trying to do right now. And when the time comes, it's definitely available for me. If they had like a young MBA agents, lawyers thing, I would definitely join that.
Maybe you can create it.
Sorry, maybe I can, but maybe one day I'll think about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
So in this relationship I have with Mike Miller, I'm
Okay.
definitely gonna try to bring a lot more players over to him.
Okay.
I have a player that is potentially gonna be a number one pick.
Okay.
So we're working on trying to make sure that he does stay at the level he's at and that he does become the number one pick. So that may be the next time I come on the podcast, and I'll bring him on, because he's actually very God fearing as well, and so is his family, which brought us together. Quick story with that too. This kid is number one in the country.
Okay.
Number one basketball player in the country. I'm not saying it to boost him. He literally is. And I went looking for him at one of these AAU games, and
the favor of God
came upon me for real, because I don't know if you ever been to an AAU tournament or like a basketball tournament.
Yes.
But it's like 10 courts in a huge gym.
Okay.
And he's playing on like, let's say, court 15. And I'm there. I see his dad. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna approach his dad and try to build a relationship. But I was too scared. So I said, let me go to court one and just build up courage. So I went to, it wasn't even court one, maybe like court four. Went to court four to go watch another game. I'm like, okay, like let me go. Like don't punk out, go. Because if you don't go,
It's a missed
it's over.
opportunity.
So I said, okay, let me go. This is God. I turn around and the first person I see is the dad. He could have been on court 4. He could have been on court 2. He could have been on court 8. He was on the same court as me. I turn around and he's right there. I said, I gotta go. I had no choice. It was like, come to me. He almost was telling me to come to him. So I went to him, and the relationship has been great since then. They invited me to Bible study. This is my first weekend meeting him. He invited me to Bible study, and that could be him testing my faith as well. Like, is this kid really like into God the way he says he is? Invited me to Bible study in their house.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're like a magnet for meeting people. Like, it's like wherever you are, they come.
People like me though. You know, like that's the thing. I'm not just meeting like anyone. I'm meeting people that's into what I'm into and understanding where I guess my path is supposed to go. They really have understanding and they push it for me. So I think that's the best part about, meeting people that I meet.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I think you upgraded your seat at the front to sit next to me.
Oh, I
was like, oh, I'm gonna have 2 big seats in the front.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you upgraded at the last minute. I saw you go to the counter and upgrade.
That was God. No, that's another thing. We probably definitely wouldn't have been here.
Well, it's crazy because
and I left my wallet. Remember that?
Yes, you did, and they gave it back. But I originally, God told me to go to Vegas. And I was like, I don't want to go to Vegas. Like, I've been to Vegas so many times. I don't gamble. I'm like, what am I going to Vegas for? And then that week I stepped on a hot coal, burned my foot. I'm like, I'm about to cancel this trip. And God was like, no, go. And I'm like, I really feel like the purpose of me going was to meet you because of the way our seating and everything fell into place. And I was like, I told my girlfriend, I'm like, I met this amazing young lawyer on the flight. And she's like, how old is he? I'm like, he's old enough to be my son. And I was like, it wasn't like it was purpose. It was definitely purpose. And so I'm so glad you came on today and shared your story. So next we're becoming millionaires, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're praying for that,
It's on the way. It's on the way.
Definitely it's in the trajectory for sure.
Yes. For sure. I can't wait. So don't forget the little people.
No, I don't even know any little people.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Amen. So do you want to share any of your platform information? So if someone who is looking to have their son or daughter, well, is WNBA in there too? I know you said NBA, but would you take a female going to the WNBA?
As I continue to grow, that'll be something I take on. Right now, maybe not.
You just doing strictly men?
Strictly men for now.
Okay.
Just to, get my foot in the door and kind of build rapport with everyone.
Okay. So if anybody wanted to reach out, maybe have you come look at their son, potentially, or get some information, how would they get in contact with you?
I have my Instagram, which is Superstar Tob. I don't know if the underscore is in front or in back.
You want to look on your phone because we want to make sure people get in contact with you.
Let me check it
and maybe spell it out. So
let me check it out real quick. Okay, so it's underscore Superstar Tob. So underscore SUPERSTARTOB.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can find me. Definitely on Instagram. My Twitter is strictly like for me to look at different players and stuff like that. You can't really reach me there. But if you DM me on Instagram, for sure, I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, you're going to have to get on TikTok.
Yeah.
What's going on with TikTok?
Probably like over time. I got to get good with my content creation and things like that. Funny enough, I just got back on Instagram.
Okay.
I was like super like locked in on my goals and stuff like that. Not to say anybody that's on Instagram is not locked on their goals, but funny enough, when I got back, people were saying they were missing my content, and that being me going to court and telling them about those judges and attorneys, like, oh my God, I had this judge today that put me through the ringer. Oh my God, I had this court officer that said this to me. They just wanted to see a perspective of a young Black attorney going through his day to day.
But we doing NBA agent now, so the content is going to change.
Yeah, for sure. When the player gets signed,
Okay.
When I have players signed to the league and you start seeing me, at draft night, that's when the content's gonna come for sure.
Okay.
But now we still hustling and grinding
Okay.
and trying
No,
to get things
absolutely.
going.
Absolutely. So I want to say thank you for coming. I
You're welcome, of
appreciate
course.
you. I see great things in the future for
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to be like, I know him.
Yeah.
I know him. I
Yeah.
have his number.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe you can come back with your players with the
Yeah.
nest
Yes, for
one
sure.
day. One day.
For sure. For sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you again for listening to, viewing Grace Two Storms podcast. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for coming.